Equation of line we don't use very often. That is the reason we kept in level 2. Okay. But JEE advanced exam is something where it is not that something is not asked in the last 35 years, they will not ask now. Okay. If you look at many questions, they were never asked before. Till the time they gave in JEE advanced exam. Okay. So whatever concepts are there official in the syllabus, everything is there. In JEE advanced exam, I don't recommend you look at past year's IT questions to get an idea, but doesn't mean only those concepts will come. Okay, always they'll try to build something new. Whereas JEE mains, you can look at past year mains questions and you can see a lot of repetitiveness is there. Sometimes same question also you'll find in 2005 and then 2012 and then 2018. You'll find 3 times. When you look at past year mains questions, same question is there 3 times you will see, but different years. Okay, but JEE advanced is not like that. Okay. Uh, Complex numbers, of course, some parts of it are little complicated. In the overall, some parts of it are maybe. So equation of line, uh, if they give in terms of numbers and all, it is easy to deal. For example, let us say they give some 2 plus 3i into z minus 2 minus 3i into z conjugate plus here plus 7 equal to 0. Let's say they want to know something about this line. If you don't know anything about complex number way of doing it, simply take z as x plus iy, this x minus iy, expand it, you will get a simple equation in your 2D geometry and you can manage with it. Okay. But without that, let us see how to do. I have a line. I want to find this line equation. Foot of origin on that line, this point as a complex number, this Argand plane is alpha. So alpha is a complex number represented by this point. Now I want to know equation of this line. After all, what is an equation? It is some algebraic condition which is satisfied by every point on that line. So if I take this point as z here or here or here or here or here, anywhere, okay, this z can be anywhere on this line and it should satisfy one condition. If I can know that condition, that is the equation of the line. Okay. Anybody want to give an idea how can I try to find an algebraic condition that z must satisfy? Wherever you take z, alpha is fixed and foot of origin on this line is alpha. What z is a variable point on this line. How to find some condition that z should satisfy?
Sir, once again repeat the question, sir.
Question: this is a line. Foot of origin on that line is alpha. Z can be anywhere on this. Z is a variable point on this line. Okay. So any point which is outside the line should not satisfy that condition. Only the points on this line should satisfy condition. What is that condition? How to find it? We want to give some idea about it. Basically, I'm asking what is the equation of that line. But we don't know anything in complex numbers as the equation of line, so I'm asking. Actually, if we take this as A and this as P, every time OAP is a right angle triangle. As long as P is on this line, OAP is a right angle triangle with right angle at A. Otherwise, it is not, right? So I can use Pythagoras theorem. OP square is equal to OA square plus AP square as long as P is on this line. If P is not on this line, these two will not be equal, isn't it? Okay, that's it. Now, what is OP means? Mod z square. What is OA means? Mod alpha. What is AP means? Distance between two complex numbers, you find this difference of them, mod z minus alpha, right? Expand this, you got equation. Mod z square equal to mod alpha square. This can be written as mod z square plus mod alpha square minus z alpha conjugate minus z conjugate alpha. All of you know mod z1 minus z2 whole square formula. Mod z1 square plus mod z2 square minus z1 z2 conjugate minus z2 z1 conjugate. Mod z square will cancel, bring everything to this side or two of them to this side. You will get alpha z conjugate plus alpha conjugate z equal to mod alpha square. Every z will satisfy. This is the equation of the line. Okay. So this is method 1. If you want to compute equation of line is the concept. The question is find equation of line uh, having alpha as foot of origin. All right. But we can also do in some other way. I think all of you know in complex numbers that if two complex numbers are perpendicular, okay, one may say, I don't know, I tell complex numbers in a particular way. I combine vectors and complex numbers. Let us see this. Okay. Let us say this is Z. This point is Z. Perpendicular to this, there is a line. You can take any complex number on this as Z2. This is Z1. Z2 can be here, 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 here. It can be anywhere. Okay. Then, because this and this are perpendicular, I call them as position vectors. If Z1 is 1 point, Z2 is 1 point, the position vector of this point is this, the position vector of this point is this basically. When they are perpendicular, the ratio of these two is purely imaginary. Okay. Z2 by Z1 is purely imaginary. Okay. How is that? Forget about this Z2. We take Z1, let us say 5 units, same 5 units, but this is here. Okay. This is Z1. This is origin, same 5 units, this angle is 90. Anybody want to tell what is this in terms of Z1? I asked a very simple question. This is Z1. I don't want to know what is this point. This is 5 units. This is 5 units. This is origin. If this is Z1, what is this? It is IZ1 or Z1 into 690. Why? You have to rotate this by 90 degrees. Whenever you want to rotate something, multiply 6 theta. If you take Z here, okay, as some R cis alpha. Yeah. I'll take this angle as alpha. This point is Z, which is R cis alpha. Okay. What do you mean by multiplying a complex number with cis theta? Z into cis theta if I am doing it. What is the difference between Z and Z into cis theta? Is Z and Z into cis theta will have same magnitude or different magnitude? Same, because this magnitude is 1 only. Mod of this is mod of this into mod of this is 1. Okay. So this and this are same magnitude. Then what the difference is, if you substitute Z as R cis alpha here, it will become R cis alpha into cis theta, which is R cis alpha plus theta. If you look at this and this, both are of same magnitude as R. This inclination is alpha and this inclination or this argument is alpha plus theta. So alpha is here means where is alpha plus theta? You have to rotate by another theta extra, the same length. Okay, that is R into cis alpha plus theta, which is nothing but Z cis theta. So what is the difference between Z and Z cis theta? Z cis theta will have argument theta more than Z. That's all. Magnitude is same. So take this, rotate by theta. Same way here, I have to take this Z1, rotate by 90 degrees. That too in anti-clockwise direction. This is also anti-clockwise. Theta is this side, it is not Z cis theta. It will be Z cis. Let's say I have a complex number Z and I want to rotate theta in clockwise direction with the same length. What is that? It will be Z cis minus theta because you have to rotate clockwise. Fine. Okay. So this will be 5 into 690 degrees because I have to rotate. Sorry, this is Z1. So this will be Z1 into 690 degrees. And what is 690 degrees? I. So that's why it is IZ. Okay. Let us say I don't want to take 5 units. I want to take 10 units here. Anybody want to tell what is that will be? This is Z1. This will be, if it is 5 units, IZ1. If it is 10 units, what it will be?
Z.
2IZ1. Right? Because the magnitude should be double of that, na? Right? Even forget about that. This is 0. This is IZ1. This for these to this midpoint. So this is double of this. So this is whatever it is, the double of that. 2IZ1. I think quite a bit of rotation I did explain. It's okay. I don't know where I have got it close. It's okay. Let's see if somebody answers this. This point is Z. This length is 7 units. This length is 21 units. And this angle is 30 degrees. This angle is 40 degrees. Okay. This length is 7. What is this point in terms of Z?
3Z is 30 degrees.
Yeah. 3Z is 30. Because I have to rotate by 30, I have to multiply 630. Because I have to magnify by 3 times. Because this magnitude is 7, this magnitude is 21. So I have to magnify this by 3 times. So it will be 3 into Z into 630. 630 tells you by what angle you have to rotate. This 3 tells you by what ratio it should be magnified. Is it clear? Okay. Okay, this is a rectangle. This is 2 units. This is 10 units. Okay. This angle is 23 degrees. And this is a rectangle. All these angles are 90. This is Z. What is this? 5IZ. Because I have to rotate by 90, I have to multiply 690 and magnify by 5 times. So it will be 5 into Z into 690 degrees, which is 5IZ. Let us say anybody can tell what is this. This is Z, this is 5IZ, and what is this?
Minus
Minus 5IZ is no, because minus 5IZ will be downward here. Instead of going upward, if you want to go downward, it will be minus 5IZ. I'm asking what is this? Yes? 6Z. No rotation. Okay. Let us say anything else. Cos how much? You want to say Z into 6Z. Okay, it should be magnified 6 times. Okay. But may not be because root over 100 plus 4, root 104 is how many times 2? It is not 6 times. Okay. Even then the angle also have to multiply this not 45 degrees because the rectangle. How much diagonal is making with this also should. But you don't need that much. It is simply Z plus 5IZ. Why? Parallelogram law. If this is origin, this is Z1, this is Z2, what is this point? Z1 plus Z2. Okay. This is simply add these two, this will come. Right now. Okay, anyway, I'm discussing about equation of line and I went back to rotation because I want to discuss another method. But anyway, let me see something else I want to tell. I'm sure sometime other you might have came across this question. Z, IZ and Z plus IZ. Find area of the triangle with these as vertices. You came across this question? Must be there somewhere, right, in material. Answer will be half mod z square also. Anyway, so where it is, I don't have to worry. Okay, z plus iz. Anyway, I'll just quickly tell what it is. You imagine a square with one vertex as origin. Square, not rectangle. Square. This is z. You know this is iz because you have to rotate 90. And you know this is by parallelogram law, this is z plus iz. You want area of triangle found by these, you mean this. That is this triangle. Well, that area will be half of this square. And the side of the square is mod z. So what is the area of the square? Mod z square. And this area will be half mod z. Right? Okay. I'm just showing where you use this rotation. Okay. Okay, so method 2. Then okay, if I have to tell method 2, I have to explain quite a bit of rotation. Let me tell one more thing about rotation and come back. Is this people have written or should I write again? No, I'll rewrite it. Not a big issue. I'll come back and write. Just. Okay, let me ask another question. This is a square. This is Z1, this is Z2. What is this? What is this? Okay, this is a square, little bit tilted. These two are Z1, Z2. What are these two? Anybody has any idea about it? Want to try? The answer should be in terms of Z1, Z2, obviously. Okay, I combine somehow vectors and complex numbers, which I feel it easier. I don't know about you. You take A, B, C, D. Based on the rotation concept that I discussed just now, whenever Z is here and anything perpendicular to that, anything here will be IZ, 2IZ, 3IZ, 10IZ, 100IZ, or minus IZ, minus 2IZ. Okay, it will be some I times that, right? Okay. If it is same magnitude, it is I only. That, yes, you are saying something. Z2 minus Z1 into Z1. Why are you multiplying Z1?
I into Z2 minus Z1, sir.
I into Z2 minus Z1 would have been correct. That is when you do with respect to origin. When your answer is correct, I'll tell you. If origin is here, this point is Z2 minus Z1, and if I ask what is this, okay, then yes, it will be I into Z2 minus Z1. That is only the rotation with respect to origin. But here you have to rotate with respect to A. So I will do little vectorial language here. Can I say that this vector is AD bar? This vector is AB bar. Okay. You take AB bar and rotate by 90 degrees, you'll get AD bar, right? That's the same magnitude. So I'm going to write AD bar is equal to I into AB bar. Is that okay? AB bar, okay? You rotate by 90 degrees, you'll get AD bar. Same magnitude, but orientation different. This I is not vectorial I, complex number I, okay? This AD bar, I'm going to write OD bar minus OA bar, position vector of D minus position vector of A, usual notation. I is OB bar minus OA bar. OD bar I need to find. And what is OA bar? Z1, position vector. And I into this is Z2 minus Z1. You have to send Z1 that side. OD bar equal to Z1 plus I into Z2 minus Z1. So this point is not I into Z2 minus Z1. You have to add Z1 because it is with respect to Z1. Okay. Actually, the complex number way of explaining this is slightly different. Is that parallel to this origin, you draw one same size. Parallel to this, you draw one thing. Okay. This point will be Z2 minus Z1 if this and this are parallel. And this, if you call Z3 for example, it will be Z3 minus Z1 or Z4, let us say. It will be Z4 minus Z1. Now this is 90 degrees, so this should be I times this. That is exactly this step. Z4 minus Z1 is I times Z2 minus Z1. And send Z1 that side. Okay. Instead of writing complex numbers, I am using vectors, that's all. Okay. If you want complex numbers way, this is the explanation. Is this point clear? Okay. If I want this, okay, I know I can add these two, subtract this, I'll get this, right? Because in a parallelogram, midpoint of diagonals are equal. Midpoint of these two should be same as midpoint of these two. This plus this by 2 should be same as this plus this by 2. Is it all right? It may become a little difficult for some people, but it's okay. Let us see. This is a rhombus. A, B, C, D. This is Z1 and this is Z3. Okay. I want to know what is this. Let me give some idea about these lengths. This is 10 units, 10 units, this is 5 units and 5 units. Or let me change the question slightly. This is A, B, C, D. This is Z1, this is Z3. These are 4 units, 4 units. These are 12 units, 12 units. Okay. What is this? And what is this in terms of Z1, Z2? Okay. Just think about it. You don't get also not an issue.
Z3 plus Z1 by 2 plus I into Z3 minus Z1 by 2.
Almost right. You want to make any slight change?
Into 3, sir.
Yes. If you try to rotate from AC to AD, it is little difficult because this angle you have to write it as cis of tan inverse 3 or something like that. Okay. It will be more easy if you can find this. I'll call this as M. And I know M will be Z1 plus Z3 by 2. So if I want OD bar base, if I want Z4, it is nothing but OD bar. Okay. This is Z4 I want to find. But OD bar I want to find from M. So I will write it as OM bar plus MD bar. What is OM bar? Z1 plus Z3 by 2. What is MD bar? You have to take MC bar, rotate by 90 degrees and anti-clockwise and magnify by 3 units. So I can write MD bar as 3 into MC bar into I. 3 is for magnifying 4 to become 12 and I is for rotating anti-clockwise 90. That's it. Z1 plus Z3 by 2 plus 3 into MC bar. What is MC bar? Half of AC bar. Half of AC bar into I. Which is Z1 plus Z3 by 2 plus 3I by 2. And what is AC bar? OC minus OA, which is Z3 minus Z1. Is it okay? Now even telling B is very easy. Anybody want to tell what is B will be? Here instead of plus, simply take minus, because instead of rotating anti-clockwise 90, you want to rotate clockwise 90. It will be minus I, minus I. Just put minus, you'll get answer straight, right? Okay, good, Chansai Teja, you could tell, very good. You understood the rotation. Swati, are you able to follow this combining vectors and this? Are you there online, Swati?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to follow this? I'm using vectors and complex numbers combined.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Avinash, are you able to follow?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here in this room, anybody has any doubt? Here. Guys, in the class for you, the Z1, Z2, Z3 to be vertices of equilateral triangle, what is the condition? Is that proved in the class? Z1 square plus Z2 square plus Z2 square minus Z1, Z2 minus Z2, Z3 minus Z3, Z1 should be 0. No. Okay. Okay, I'm going to erase this. Okay, sorry, we started with the equation of line, but mostly I'm discussing about rotation. Okay, just let me make it clear about the rotation and then we'll go back to the equation of line. Okay. You got some clarity about the rotation already that I said if this is Z and if there is another complex number, you want to know what is that. Okay, it will definitely some Z into K into cis alpha. Provided in anti-clockwise you have to rotate alpha, and what is that K? This magnitude by this magnitude. Okay, K refers to, if this is Z1, mod Z1 by mod Z. This magnitude is how many times this magnitude? If you know that number, multiply that number, magnification will take place, multiply cis alpha, rotation will take place. That is as simple as that. That is a rotation. And if it is not with respect to origin, we have seen one or two examples how to use vectors and that. Okay, let me ask a simple question and then come back. Z1 square minus Z1 Z2 plus Z2 square equal to 0. Okay, this is given to you. From this, I want you to prove origin Z1 Z2 are vertices of equilateral triangle. Okay, if this show that origin Z1 Z2 are vertices of equilateral triangle. Question is not reverse. I did not say these are vertices of equilateral triangle, show this. No, I did not ask that. This is given to you and you have to show that 0, Z1, Z2 are vertices of equilateral. Anybody want to give a hint at least how to proceed? Okay, just divide with Z2 square everywhere. When you divide with Z2 square, it will become Z1 by Z2 whole square minus Z1 by Z2 plus 1 equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation. Simply find the roots. Z1 by Z2 equal to 1 plus or minus root over 1 minus 4 by 2, which is 1 plus or minus I root 3 by 2. So Z1 equal to Z2 into 1 plus I root 3 by 2 or Z2 into 1 minus I root 3 by 2. Okay. That is Z1 equal to Z2 into, in mod amplitude form, what is 1 plus I root 3 by 2? Anybody? Mod
Cos 60
amplitude,
plus I sin 60.
it is 60 degrees. And what is this? 1 minus I root 3 by 2? This is minus 60. That's it, we proved. One may say, where is it we proved? You take Z2. Okay. Z2 into 660 means where it is? Into 1. Only since there is no magnitude, into 1 is there. So only rotate by 60, no change in the magnitude. Okay. So when you rotate 60 degrees, you will get Z1. And this length and this length are equal. We don't know what is mod Z2. Mod Z2 may be 7. If mod Z2 is 7, mod Z1 is also 7. If mod Z2 is 9, mod Z1 is also 9. So this is an isosceles triangle, first of all. And on top of that, this angle is 60. Then isosceles triangle, when one angle is 60, it must be equilateral triangle. 60 can be this way also. Okay, then Z1 can be here where this is 60. Then it is equilateral triangle this way. Equilateral triangle that way or this way. Okay, both equilateral triangles are covered. That means they can be equilateral triangle in a clockwise order. That is first or 0, next Z1, Z2, or in anti-clockwise order. Okay. So both cases, there are two cases, but in both cases they are vertices of equilateral triangle. If somebody says reverse, if this is given, I want to show this. Very simple. If really this is true, one of these two statements must be correct. Either this should be correct or this should be correct. Okay. Then you take this minus this into this minus this, product equal to 0. Basically, these are the roots of that product. Okay. You take Z1 minus this minus this, into this minus this equal to 0. Either this will be 0 or that will be 0. Both are taken care, and when you expand, you will get this only final. Is everybody clear? Okay, I'm going to erase this and ask another question. So this is given to you. What is the nature of the triangle whose vertices are origin Z1, Z2? I'm not even telling the equilateral triangle. You have to find something you know about that angle. Is it an isosceles or equilateral, or what is the different angles in the triangle and all? Or you can draw the figure and also show. This is given to you, and you have to find the nature of the triangle. Okay, it will be an isosceles triangle, either this one or this one, either this triangle or this triangle. How? If I take Z2 here, Z1 either I have to turn 30 degrees this way or 30 degrees this way. This is 30 degrees. Okay. This need not be vertical, and just it appears like that, but it is not. This is Z2. This length should be 2 times that, because Z1 should be twice of that. So if we draw perpendicular, that is not perpendicular. This length is 2 times, and this angle is 30. This is also 30. If this is 2 and this is 30, should this also be 30? Right? No. Because if this is L, this will be L cos 30. Need not. Okay, so not even isosceles, I guess. Only thing is that this angle is 30 and this length is 2 times this. Okay, what is this length in terms of this? If you want, I have to use some kind of sine rule or something. Is it possible to know other angles? If I use sine rule, this length, let's say this is L, this is 2L. I don't know this angle. So L by sine theta is equal to, I don't know this. So I know ln 12 and I want to find this theta, then I have to write 150 minus theta and write 12 by sine 150 minus theta. That will be a little complicated. Okay, I should have given a slightly different question. It's okay. Just you will understand that this length is 2 times this and this angle is 30. If I required, I can find this angle, this length by using properties of triangle. But right now I don't want to go into detail. Is it okay? Just I asked angles here, but basically I want to have some feel of when you solve quadratic equation, how to analyze the final expression. Is it all right? Okay. Now, if you look at the material, I'm sure somewhere it will be there that whenever Z1, Z2, Z3 are forming an equilateral triangle, it can have any orientation. It can be like this, it can be reversed, it can be rotated, what doesn't matter, but it's equilateral triangle. Then always Z1 square plus Z2 square plus Z3 square minus Z1, Z2 minus Z2, Z3 minus Z3, Z1 equal to 0. Okay. The same thing can be written in many ways. You can write Z1 minus Z2 whole square plus Z2 minus Z3 whole square plus Z3 minus Z1 whole square equal to 0. You can also write it as 1 by Z1 minus Z2 without mod plus 1 by Z2 minus Z3 plus 1 by Z3 minus Z1 equal to 0. You can also write determinant 1 Z1 Z2, 1 Z2 Z3, 1 Z3 Z1 equal to 0. All these are equivalent. This and this are same, this and this are same, this and this are same. If you know that they are vertices of equivalent triangle, you can tell any one of them. Or if this is given to you, for sure they are vertices of it is if and only if condition. Okay. So I can now. Of course, one may say, what is that? This is a very simple question. Something square plus something square plus something square is 0 means each must be 0. So Z1 and Z2, Z3 must be equal. Is it right, that logic? From this, can I say Z1, Z2, Z3 must be equal? Because so many times we use this in first year and many places that something square plus something square plus something square is 0 means each one of them must be 0. Right?
Yes, sir.
No, that is only for real numbers. We are dealing with complex numbers. In real numbers, when you square something, it has to be greater than or equal to 0. But in complex numbers, if you square something, it need not be greater than or equal to 0, right? It can be complex number itself, or it can be negative number also. So some are positive, some are negative, some are complex, they can cancel out. So don't think this will represent that Z1, Z2, Z3 must be equal. No, it is not that. Okay. So you know, we are dealing with complex numbers. That is something else. Anyway, so Z1 comma Z2 comma Z3 are vertices of an equilateral triangle. If and only if all these conditions. You can write this or you can write this, you can write this, any one of them, all are same, but you can write all of them. Okay, so we are going to prove one of them. Uh, of course, they can be asked somewhere or other, but in one sense, objective exam has some disadvantage. It has an advantage. I always say this. Subjective exam, the advantage is people will know, that is, those who don't know how to do the question, they will not be able to do it. Only those who know, they will be able to do it. And answer also not there. So without options, sometimes we could look at the answers, we'll get an idea how to do it. That option will not be there. Okay. So subjective exam is in a sense more accurate. Okay. Where okay. Because in objective exam, we don't know how they kept the answer, they guessed it, or somehow they went wrong, something, whatever it is, right? Okay. But it has a subjective exam has a serious disadvantage that in a 2 hours exam, you cannot give 30 questions. You will not be able to write solutions for 30 questions. Okay. So they have to give only 10 or 12 or 15 questions. So they will not be able to cover all the chapters. Okay. So when IIT was subjective, some people used to leave completely, let's say, coordinate geometry. Still, they can get a very good rank because out of 12, only 3 or 4 questions will be coordinate geometry. If you can do the rest of it nicely. So let's say you don't like permutation combinations, for example, or any particular topic. You leave that 1 or 2 questions, and it doesn't matter anyway because anyway time will not be able to attempt all the questions. Okay, if you are really strong in other chapters. Objective exam, the advantage, or we can say, is that it can cover all the chapters in okay in a one exam, in a span of, if you give 25 questions or 30 questions, I think you can touch upon every chapter. Okay. Only disadvantage is, of course, somebody can do from the options, somebody can guess, sometimes it may be right, and things like that. Another disadvantage with an objective exam is you cannot ask the proofs. For example, this is a very nice concept maybe, but they cannot ask because somebody can by heart the formula. They don't have to worry how the formula came, right? Okay. They cannot ask the proofs of something, for example. I'm not about basic proofs, little advanced. But anyway, so in the present pattern, they may not be able to ask the proof. But the rotation concept that we discussed is useful in many other questions. Okay. So because of that, I'm discussing this because the derivation, that means I'm going to tell the proof, the method that I used in the proof, that will be useful in other questions. Okay. And this formula itself will be useful. Anyway, as we are discussing about rotation, I think some of the questions were already discussed. I don't know. This is one of the past year mains question, maybe advanced. I don't remember the details, but I'll give you some idea. They will tell some north, east, west, south, some directions. They will tell normally what is this north, east, west, south. Yeah. You go 4 units, okay, along northeast direction, and then travel 3 units along northwest direction. Along northwest, you will reach one point. In arcane plane, what is this will be in complex number form? Have you seen this question before? I'll tell you the question number later, but first of all, this is a very simple question based on the rotation. That's why I'm asking. You travel 4 units along northeast, 3 units along northwest. What is this point in terms of A plus BI form or something like that? What is that in complex number? This is origin, this is arcane plane. Anybody want to tell the answer? Northeast 4 units, northwest 3 units. That's it. If I remember correctly, it is asked in JEE Advanced, not even in mains. Maybe there in mains after that later. Asked both in advanced and mains.
Sir, 3i is 45 degrees.
Once again, repeat the answer.
3i is 45 degrees.
No, that means you are telling 3 is 135 degrees. Right. Anyway, I have to give the options also because somebody may be trying to find. It's not difficult. You can, this length is 5. somehow we can find this and this or some angles. It can be done, but answer given in a different way. Okay. I'll tell you one simple way. This one I'll rotate 45 degrees back. This whole triangle I'll rotate 45 degrees back. Then it will be like this. This is 4, this is 3, this is 5, right? Now anybody can tell what is this in complex numbers? Tell me. 4 plus 3i. Along real axis 4 along this, right? Now this I have to rotate by 45 degrees. So now tell me what is this? 4 plus 3i into 645. Same magnitude, rotate by 45 degrees. That's it. This is 4 plus 3i into 645 degrees. Instead of giving this, they gave 4 plus 3i into e power I theta, where theta is pi by 4. Okay. I kept all the rotation questions in one place in this material. I remember it very clearly. So this should be there. Let me see, where is that? Yeah.
Sir, can you repeat again, sir?
I'll repeat anyway. Question number 133, if you have your mains material with you. They give 3 first and 4 next. I interchange the numbers by mistake. Question number 133 is they have to travel 3 units here, 4 here. Then it will be 3 plus 4i into this. Okay. Anyway, somebody did not get the. I'll tell you what is the question and what the solution. The question is, along northeast travel 4 units. Along northwest travel 3 units. You will reach one point. In Argand plane, what is the position or what is the complex number representing that point? This is a simple right angle triangle, 4, 3, 5, and this one is making 45 degrees with x-axis because it is northeast direction, between north and east, exactly in the middle. Instead of finding this point, rotate this 45 degrees back, the whole triangle. That is this. This is 4, this is 3, this is 5, so this is 4 plus 3a. Now take this and rotate by 45 degrees with the same magnitude. That is this one. So into 6 pi by 4, this 45. A main point I'm telling is, if you take a complex number and multiply 6 theta with respect to origin, the position vector of the original point, you are rotating by an angle theta in anti-clockwise direction. That's the main essence of rotation. Okay. So that is this. Is it clear? Whoever asked online?
Yes, sir.
Samuel, is it you asked?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, are you clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So rotation concept is a very important one. I tried to put all the questions here. Yeah, there's a heading also, problem based on rotation ideas. So 125 to 142, all are rotation. Okay. This is something beyond the IP. Okay. In IP, the questions are very simple. You take z equal to x plus iy, most of the complex numbers is done. Of course, De Moivre's theorem has some standard formulas. Okay, anyway, I just want to give some questions and discuss where you'll get a better idea about rotation. Is it okay? Yeah, basically I wanted to prove that equilateral triangle thing, and in between I came up with this, right? Okay. So let us see Z1, Z2, Z3, if they're vertices of equilateral triangle, how that condition came. If I take Z1 here, Z2 here, and I want an equilateral triangle, the third vertex can be above this or below this, like this. Z3 can be here, Z3 can be here. If it is like this, then this vector you multiply with, that is this vector you multiply with 60, you should get this. So I can write Z3 minus Z1 is equal to Z2 minus Z1 into 60. If this is A, this is B, this is C, I can say AC bar equal to 60 degrees into AB bar. Take this same magnitude but rotate by 60, you should get this. Okay. That is exactly. AC bar means OC bar minus OA bar equal to 660 into OB bar minus OA bar. OC bar is Z3, OA bar is Z1, OB bar is Z2, OA bar is Z1. This is 60. Okay. You don't find like this explanation in any books. Okay. And normally it's not so nice that one is a vector, one is a complex number. But I'm sure things make it easier. Okay. That's the point. Okay. But if it is clockwise, then it is this minus 60. So I have to write R Z2 minus Z1 into this minus 60. Right. Okay. In fact, if you divide, you can write Z3 minus Z1 by Z2 minus Z1 equal to 60 or this minus 60. Now, that means I can write like this Z3 minus Z1 by Z2 minus Z1 minus this 60 into Z3 minus Z1 by Z2 minus Z1 minus this minus 60 equal to 0. Either this should be 0 or this should be 0. Then their product should be 0. So when I multiply this, do I have enough place? Above? So if I multiply these two, what I'll get is Z3 minus Z1 by Z2 minus Z1 whole square minus. When you add these two, the sum of the roots basically, this 60 plus this minus 60 is 2 cos 60. 2 cos 60 is 1. So you'll get Z3 minus Z1 by Z2 minus Z1 plus the product of the roots. This theta into this minus theta is 0, which is 1, plus 1 equal to 0. So when you take LCM, you'll get Z3 minus Z1 whole square minus Z3 minus Z1 into Z2 minus Z1 plus Z2 minus Z1 whole square equal to 0. When you expand this, you'll get your condition. Okay. You can see when you expand, I'll get one Z1 square here, one Z1 square. I'll get two Z1 square. There is one more Z1 square with a minus, so it will be Z1 square only. One extra Z2 square, one extra Z3 square. You expand this and combine, you will get that. I'll just write it for the sake of writing. Z1 square plus Z2 square plus Z3 square minus Z1 Z2 minus Z2 Z3 minus Z3 Z1 equal to 0. Okay, just write this. We'll discuss something else also. Once again, the proof may not be asked in any exam for you. It is not there for IP because IP is very simple. Advanced exam is not subjective. But it's good to have an idea about how it is derived based on the rotation concept. And you also have to say I covered both cases. This can be equivalent triangle this way or this way. Both are covered in this. Class, no? Another book. This is your recent classes notes. Last 4-5 classes, what is taught it is here before this. Rotation taught we discussed. Just brief. Okay. Okay, I'm going to erase this. Okay, we have seen some other conditions for three things that conditions for equilateral triangle. One of them is this 1 by z1 minus z2 plus 1 by z2 minus z3 plus 1 by z3 minus z1 equal to 0, right? Now, if you actually do take LCM and expand, you will get the same condition. Okay, z1 square plus z2 square plus z3 square minus z1 z2 minus z2 z3 minus z3 z1 equal to 0. But if this is given and I have to prove that z1 z2 z3 are vertices of equilateral triangle, okay, I just want to give some idea. Once again, the purpose is nobody is going to ask you. That means if you remember this formula in an objective exam, it may not matter whether you know the proof or not. Okay, but the process of what I'm doing may be useful in other questions. That's what I'm telling. This is given to me and I have to prove that z1 z2 z3 are vertices of equilateral triangle. I'm going to take this as alpha, this as beta, this as gamma. 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta plus 1 by gamma is 0. Okay. If I can somehow prove mod alpha equal to mod beta equal to mod gamma, my job is done. Because what is mod alpha means? Mod z1 minus z2, which is distance between z1 and z2. Distance between z1, z2, z2, z3, z3, z1 are equal. All sides are equal. It is the equilateral triangle, right? How to prove from this? Okay. All right. So I took this as alpha, this as beta, this as gamma. This is given to me already, and this is to prove. Okay. Not only 1 by alpha plus 1 by beta plus 1 by gamma is 0, even alpha plus beta plus gamma is 0. Why? What is alpha? Z1 minus Z2. When you add all the denominators directly, minus Z2 plus Z2 will cancel, minus Z2 plus Z2 will cancel, Z1 minus Z2 will cancel. It is this, right? Okay. Now, if I take LCM here, I'll get alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha equal to 0. Let me keep it here. From these two, I'll take beta common. I'll get alpha plus gamma is equal to minus gamma alpha. But alpha plus gamma is minus beta. So I can write beta equal to minus gamma alpha. Cancel minus, multiply beta on both sides. So you'll get beta cube is equal to alpha beta gamma. Is it okay? Similarly, if from these two I take gamma common, send this one that side and then multiply the gamma on both sides, I'll get gamma cube is also alpha beta gamma in the same process. Another two you bring and other one that side will get alpha cube is also alpha beta gamma. So that means alpha cube, beta cube, gamma cube are equal. If they are equal, their magnitude are also equal. If the magnitudes are equal, mod alpha whole cube is equal to mod beta whole cube equal to mod gamma whole cube. Cancel cube, mod alpha equal to mod beta equal to mod gamma. Then they are equal triangle. Okay. So like that. That means I gave 4 conditions. You can start with equilateral triangle and prove those conditions if possible. Okay. Or you can start with any condition and prove that they are vertices of equilateral triangle also. Just to give, you don't have to write, just listen sufficient. Okay. This is origin, this is, sorry, this is Z1, this is Z2, and this is Z3. I will take this vector, I will take this vector like this vector like this. Okay. This is A, B, C. I want to express CA bar, not AC bar. I want to express CA bar in terms of AB bar. Can you tell me AB bar into what should I write to get CA bar? According to rotation concept, AB bar should be multiplied with what to get CA bar? If it is AC bar, you would have told 60 very easily because anti-clockwise 60. But I'm asking about CA bar. Maybe I'll ask next question. It is easier for you. What to write BC bar in terms of AB bar? AB bar into what will give me BC bar? Anybody?
Six of minus 60, sir.
Minus 60, no. Why? AB bar, if it is here, vector doesn't have fixed
Minus
place. You
of
can put it
660.
move here also. Same magnitude, if I put it here, if two vectors have same magnitude, same direction, they're same now. Now tell me from here to come to this, how much angle I have to turn? From
120,
here?
sir.
120. This is 60, so this is 120 anti-clockwise. So this is actually this is 120. And this is 120 is after all omega. So it is AB bar into omega. Actually, I can write OC, that is what is this? BC means Z3 minus Z2 is equal to Z2 minus Z1 into omega. Right? Coming to this, CA bar instead of here, move it here. AB is this and this. This is given to me and I want to find this. From here to here, how much I have to turn? Yeah, you can turn minus 120 or you can turn 240. Both are same. Either turn. So you can write this is 240 degrees or cis minus 120 degrees. Then I can write Z1 minus Z3 as, okay, Z1, Z2, Z2. AC bar is OC bar. Did I write AC bar? CA bar I want to write, which is OM and OC. That's good. And AB bar I wrote Z2 minus Z1. It's okay. I would have reversed everything. It's okay. Nothing wrong. What is this now? This is Z2 minus Z1 into cis 240 means omega square. Cis minus 120 means 1 by cis 120, which is 1 by omega, which is also omega square. Okay. So basically, what is that we got? I'll tell you. Once you got this and this, all the three conditions you can prove in one go if you want. Why? You take Z1 minus Z2 whole square, Z2 minus Z3 whole square, and Z3 minus Z1 whole square. Let us say you want to prove 0. Very simple. In the place of this, you have to write this into omega. And in the place of this, you have to write this into omega square or reverse. One of them is omega, one of them is omega square. Then what happens? Z1 minus Z2 whole square will become common. You get 1 plus omega square plus omega power 4. But what is 1 plus omega square plus omega power 4? 1 plus omega whole square plus omega square whole square, which is 1 plus omega square plus omega power 4. Omega power 4 is it same as omega? Omega power 4 is omega cube into omega, so which is omega. Omega cube is 1. And 1 plus omega square is 0, right? So it is 0. Proved. Understand what I'm saying? Of course, I have to multiply minus here because here I'm interested in Z1 minus Z2 and here I took Z2 minus Z1. So I should have taken minus common and wrote everything. Even now I can take minus common everywhere it comes. Even the next one, what is that? 1 by Z1 minus Z2, 1 by Z2 minus Z3, 1 by Z3 minus Z1. Remove this and write this into omega. Remove this and write this into omega square and take this common. Now take this common, you'll be left with 1 plus 1 by omega plus 1 by omega square. Is that 0? What is 1 by omega? Omega square. And what is 1 by omega square? Omega. 1 plus omega square plus omega is also 0. So, and so all the three, like that it can be proved. I'm just giving some idea about it. All of you are able to follow or you are not able to find any interest? You're able to follow? As we discuss equilateral triangle, I want to discuss something related to that. It is also there in the material about right angle isosceles triangle. One question is there. I want to discuss that. But what I want to show, I want to discuss one or two examples. Complex numbers, some questions are routine. You are just some questions are simply put z is x plus y. You should not do anything else. Maybe that is the best thing also. Okay. Some questions, if you see graphically, for example, all of you know mod z1 minus z2 represent distance between z1 and z2. It is very useful for deriving equation of circle, equation of ellipse and hyperbola in a particular form, things like that, right? And okay, most of the things are covered with that. Of course, rotation is also gives you a lot of few another different ways of I'm sure you studied about argument of z minus z1 by z minus z2 equal to theta. As you change theta, it can represent a line segment, it can represent two rays, it can represent a minor arc of a circle, it can represent a major arc of a circle. You gone through this, right? In equation of circle. Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw in the notes of somebody it is there. Okay, so these things are the difference between IP. Like with some chapters, we say there's not much of a difference between IP or mains or advanced. Some chapters. There are some topics there can be a lot of gap. For example, in complex numbers, advanced exam has much more concepts than simple IP. Okay. Anyway, I want to discuss one or two examples just to tell by using different concepts in complex numbers, many questions can be done instead of writing a lengthy solution or alternative solution, something like that. I'll ask very simple thing. If mod Z1 equal to mod Z2, show that Z1 plus Z2 by Z1 minus Z2 is purely imaginary. Okay, that's the question. Okay, so how should we do this? Okay, yeah, you can do in many ways. I will take one parallelogram. This point is origin, this is Z1, this point is Z2. According to parallelogram law, this is Z1 plus Z2, right? Normally it is true. Normally it is a parallelogram, but in this particular question, it is actually rhombus. Why it is rhombus? Mod Z1 equal to mod Z. This length and this length are equal. In a parallelogram, if adjacent sides are equal, it is a rhombus, right? What if this will be Z1 plus Z2? What if this will be, if you call this as A, this as B, AB bar is what? OB minus OA, which is Z2 minus Z1. Bhargav, are you listening? Are you listening, Bhargav? I'm asking. Okay. This is Z1 plus Z2 and this is Z2 minus Z1, or you can, if you take reverse direction, Z1 minus Z2. In a rhombus, are the diagonals perpendicular? And just now we studied, whenever two things are perpendicular, you take this and multiply it with 90, you will get the other one, right? Okay, so whenever two complex numbers are perpendicular, their ratio, when I say complex numbers are perpendicular, what I mean is from origin you join to that. Or if you are taking position vectors, subtract the position vectors. Okay. Whenever two things are perpendicular, their ratio is purely imaginary. That's it, is imaginary. That's it, done. This is Z1 plus Z2 and this is Z1 minus Z2. They're perpendicular, their ratio is purely imaginary. Right? Almost similar, I want to change the question in a different way. So the method 2 that I'm going to discuss is nothing different from method 1, but with a slight change. I will take this side as Z1 plus Z2 and this side as Z1 minus Z2. What I mean is this is origin. This point is Z1 plus Z2. This point is Z1 minus Z2. If I talk about vectors, this is Z1 plus Z2, this is Z1 minus Z2 kind of thing. What if this will be this plus this? When I add these two, I'll get 2Z1. And what is this? This minus this, which will be 2Z2. Correct? So this is 2Z1 and this is 2Z2. Right. Now, normally it is a parallelogram. This is a parallelogram where I add these two, this one came. That's fine. Now, I will tell you that this parallelogram is actually a rectangle. Why? Because the diagonals are of equal length. How diagonals are equal length? What is this length? Mod 2Z1. What is this length? This minus this mod of that, which is mod 2Z2. But mod Z1 equal to mod Z2 means mod 2Z1 equal to mod 2Z2. In which parallelogram diagonals have equal length? Rectangle. If it is a rectangle means from this you rotate by 90, this should come now. Okay, that means this by this is 690 or a multiple of that, which is purely imaginary. Whenever two things are perpendicular, purely imaginary. Okay. So this is, I started with rhombus and I got diagonals are perpendicular. Here I started with diagonals are of equal length and showed that it is rectangle, right? Another way to prove this is you bring the Z2 down, you can write mod Z1 by Z2 equal to 1. Okay, that means you take a circle. with center origin and radius 1, this Z1 by Z2 can be anywhere on that circle because magnitude is 1, right? It is on the circle. What if this point will be 1 and this will be minus 1? All of you know angle in a semicircle is 90 degrees. Okay. Join to this and join to this angle is 90 degrees, right? What if this in vector form? It will be this minus this, 1 minus Z1 by Z2. What is this in vector form? This minus this, which is Z1 by Z2 minus minus 1. Because they are perpendicular, this angle is 90, their ratio should be purely imaginary. That's it. Z1 by Z2 minus minus 1 by 1 minus Z1 by Z2 is purely imaginary. When you take LCM, it is Z1 plus Z2 by Z2 minus Z1. You can take minus common also. If something is purely imaginary, negative of that also purely imaginary. Right? Okay. This is one way to do that. I also want to tell some other way. Okay. Of course, there are many ways you can do it. For example, somebody can divide with Z2 and write 1 plus Z2 by Z1 by 1 minus Z2 by Z1 and write this as cis theta because mod of Z2 by Z1 is 1. It is a complex number with magnitude 1 means it is cis theta. 1 plus cis theta by 1 minus cis theta. Okay. This is one point. It is useful in many other questions. Okay. Anybody want to forget about all this purely imagined and all these things? I'm sure sometime or other you got a situation where 1 plus cis n theta by 1 minus cis n theta. You need to simplify or something like that, right? Okay. Normally, you will expand this and you rationalize. Okay, that is not rationalize. I should say multiply with the conjugate. Okay. For a plus ib, you will multiply with a minus ib. Okay. It may be like a joke, but I'll tell you, if it is surds like root a plus root b, you will call root a minus root b is a rationalizing factor, right? Multiplying with this is called rationalization, right? Okay. But in complex numbers, when you multiply with this, are you doing rationalization? You are converting complex number into real number. So what should be this called? Realization. You are converting complex numbers into real number. It is not rationalizing factor, it is realizing factor. All right. So you realize the denominator. Okay. Still, I use the word rationalization only. Basically. Okay. But I'll tell you a small trick. You don't have to do that. You can do more easily. Divide everywhere with cis theta by 2. Divide with the cis theta by 2. Tell me 1 by cis theta by 2, what should I write? I'll divide cis theta by 2 here, 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 everywhere. 1 by cis theta by 2, what is that?
Cis of minus theta by 2.
Cis of minus theta by 2.
Cis of minus theta
What
by
is cis theta by cis theta by 2? Cis theta by 2. Cis A by cis B is cis of
cis
A minus
theta by
B.
2, sir.
Theta minus theta by 2 is cis theta by 2. Here also divide with cis theta by 2. You will get cis of minus theta by 2 minus cis of plus theta by 2. What is cis theta? Cis alpha plus cis minus alpha? 2 cos alpha, which will be 2 cos theta by 2. What is cis minus theta? Minus cis theta will be, actually this minus this will be 2i sin theta. This will be minus 2i sin theta by 2. Right? To cancel 2 and 2, you got it as I cot theta by 2. Is it okay? Yeah. So instead of rationalizing, multiply the conjugate of denominator. If you multiply cis of half of this, it is easy to simplify, and we'll get I cot theta by 2. But I'll show you how to understand this from the figure. You take a circle. This is 1 and this is minus 1. And this angle is theta and this is cis theta. This is unit circle. What is this 1 plus is theta? Okay, is you are adding these two. Okay, or let me do like this. This vector, okay, is 1 plus is theta. All of you agree with this? Why? If this is A, this is B. What is AB bar? OB minus OA. This minus this is this. Am I right? Okay. Next, this vector, or coming to downward, this vector is 1 minus is theta. Correct? This minus this. If this is B, this is C. BC bar is OC minus OB. OC is 1, OB is this. Right. Now, when you are finding this, you are finding this by this. Okay. Let us say 1 plus is theta by 1 minus is theta is equal to some r is alpha. That is actually. What is this r? This magnitude by this magnitude. Correct? Okay. That is this length by this length. If this is theta, can I say this is theta by 2? All of you know that? If I chord subtend theta at the center at any point of circumference, it will subtend theta by 2. Now tell me from this figure, what is this length by this length? For theta by 2, this adjacent side, this opposite side. So what is that? Cot theta by 2, right? Adjacent by opposite, cot theta by 2. So this is actually cot theta by 2. And this alpha is 90 degrees. Why? What is the denominator? This. From this vector, I want to come to this vector. In anti-clockwise direction, how much I have to rotate? 90 degrees. So this is 90, which is I. That's why it is I cot theta by 2. You can see that. Are you able to see that? Okay. You can simplify and this. So like that, why I'm telling all that here? You take Z2 by Z1, this is cis theta. And 1 plus cis theta by 1 minus cis theta, when you simplify, it's I cot theta by 2. So it is purely imaginary. Like that also you can prove. You can also prove in another way. How will you prove anything is purely, forget about all these things. If somebody says Z is purely imaginary, how are you going to prove it? Simply take Z plus Z conjugate equal to 0. If you prove this, you prove Z is purely imaginary, isn't it? If something is purely imaginary, Z conjugate will be minus Z, no? Okay. So I'll simply take this plus its conjugate and prove 0. My job is done. You take Z1 plus Z2 by Z1 minus Z2 plus Z1 plus Z2 by Z1 minus Z2 conjugate. If I can manage to prove this as 0, I proved it. Okay. Now, what is this? Z1 plus Z2 by Z1 minus Z2. This is Z1 conjugate, Z2 conjugate, Z1 conjugate minus Z2 conjugate. If I do cross multiplication, what will come here? Z1 into Z1 conjugate minus Z1 Z2 conjugate plus Z2 Z1 conjugate minus Z2 into Z2 conjugate. What is product of these two? Z1 Z1 conjugate, Z1 Z2 conjugate minus Z2 Z1 conjugate, and this is minus Z2 Z2 conjugate. There is a numerator. I am not writing denominator. Now, anything Z1 into Z2 conjugate. This is negative. This is positive. Got cancelled. Z2 into Z1 conjugate got cancelled. What is Z1 into Z1 conjugate? Mod Z1 square. This is also mod Z1 square. So I got 2 times mod Z1 square minus mod Z2 square is the numerator, and denominator something. But I know mod Z1 and mod Z2 are equal. So that is 0. I proved something plus its conjugate is 0 means it must be purely imaginary. Right. So the question is same, but by using different concepts in complex numbers, okay, we'll get different way of proving the same. Is it clear? I want to discuss about right angle isosceles triangle, but there are 2 more points I want to discuss. Anybody have AP textbook here? Nobody has IP textbook. At least IP solutions anybody has, you wrote by yourself? Online, somebody has IP textbook with them right now, right? 2A textbook. Chandrasai Teja, you have the IP textbook with you, 2A, right now?
No, sir.
No. Anybody else? Anybody else in the online? You have IP textbook with you? Okay, somebody said I have it. Who is that? Swarup. Okay. But you will not be able to speak it. I want somebody who has a textbook and who can speak with me, not just send a message.
I have.
Sir,
Okay.
now I have.
All right. Take the first exercise in, not first exercise, second exercise in complex numbers.
Yes, sir.
Okay. After first section, and I think in second section there will be a question where z equal to some 3 by 2 plus is theta. Find the locus of this. Some kind of question will be there. Do you have any such question?
Yes, sir.
Is it the same question?
Yes, sir. But he gives cis theta in the form of cos theta plus I sin theta.
Okay, same thing. Then it's okay. I just want to confirm that. All right. Z equal to 3 by 2 plus cos theta plus I sin theta. Find the locus of Z. Okay. All of you remember this question doing maybe as a homework or something? The very second exercise in complex numbers.
Sir explained it as an important model, sir.
Achha, that's good. You can thoroughly explain in the class. Okay, fine. Now, is it that you take Z as x plus iy and rationalize it and then simplify x and y and find x square plus y? Can you substitute in what is the answer? X square minus 4x.
X square plus I square equal to 4x minus 3.
Oh, that one. Okay, x square plus y square minus 4x minus 3. Plus.
Plus 3 equal to 6.
Okay, yeah, right. Okay. How did you prove this? You rationalize this, that is multiply the conjugate of the denominator? No. Not that way. All right. Okay, fine. Anyway, I'll give you some idea about it, some other idea. I'll tell you 2-3 methods. First method is if you don't get any idea, like you have done, I think the previous 2 questions to this are also of this model, which are a little easier. Only this is a little lengthy. You multiply with 2 plus cos theta minus I sin theta in the numerator and denominator. Okay. Basically, the denominator look at a real number now and split it real part separately, imaginary part separately. We'll get x in terms of theta, y in terms of theta separately. Just substitute it here. When you expand and simplify, it will become 0. Okay. Or if you try to eliminate theta also, you'll get it. It will complicated, but if you know the answer that you have to prove this, it is very easy. But it's still lengthy. It is. Okay. Method 2, okay, is another option is bring this here and z down. 2 plus cis theta is 3 by z. Send 2 that side. Cis theta equal to 3 by z minus 2. Apply mod on both sides. This is 1 and this is 3 by x plus iy minus 2. Take LCM and then find, you'll get some complex number by another complex number. Numerator magnitude by denominator magnitude, expand, square it and expand, you'll get the answer. Okay. Is it done like this or what? Okay. Method 3. Don't ask me why I have to do like this. Is subtract 2 on both sides. You will get z minus 2 is 3 by 2 plus cis theta minus 2. Okay. And then when you take LCM, we'll get z minus 2 can be written as x minus 2 plus iy. Here when you take LCM, we'll get 3 minus 4 minus 2 cis theta by 2 plus cis theta. Okay. Apply mod on both sides. This mod you take, here numerator mod by denominator mod you take. When you expand the mod form, the numerator and denominator have same mod. It will be 1. and we'll get 1 or some other number. We'll get x minus 2 whole square plus y square equal to, I guess it is 1 only, because plus 1 minus, yes, it is 1 only will come. Okay. No, just I want to tell some other method, but let me see what was that. Okay, instead of rationalizing, they brought here and then they compared, and then yeah, this is also nice. Okay, good. Yeah, it seems sir discussed a slightly different method in the class. We can use that. That's also quite nice. Where denominator was brought this side, that is written as x plus iy, and then expanded, compare real part, imaginary parts, and carefully eliminate theta like you do in trigonometry eliminations, kind of thing. Okay, but this also will come quite easily. Only thing is that one may ask the idea that how will I know that I have to subtract 2 only? I can subtract 5, I can subtract 7, I can subtract any number. What is that? That is because, you know, answer it is a circle with this like this. Okay. So this subtracting 2 is an idea that we got because we already know the answer, right? Okay. But anyway, these are the different alternatives. One is if you don't get any idea, rationalize that, multiply the conjugate of denominator, find x in terms of theta, y in terms of theta, and simply substitute in here. Second method is you bring 6 theta one side, everything else another side. Okay. Apply mod and then expand this. Will get this also come very easily, not very difficult, and you don't have to worry about what is that you are doing. You know, 6 theta we are isolating. In fact, it will come 1 is equal to mod, you take LCM, 3 minus 2x minus I into 2y by x plus iy. And that is 1 equal to square root of 3 minus 2x whole square plus 2y whole square by root over x square plus y square. Bring this side square, expand it, direct answer will come. I think this is a fairly simple, tangible method in IP, which is quite acceptable, right? Another method is this is a trick where you know the answer and you're trying to adjust to that, multiply it. Okay, but I want to give us something. You don't have to write in IP, but you'll get a better idea about this question. This is origin, and this is a circle with center 2, radius 1 unit. So this is 2 comma 0, this is 3 comma 0, this is 1 comma 0. And there is a point which is this inclination is theta. Okay. I will join origin to that. Okay. Now, what is this point? Anybody want to tell? In complex number way, what is that point? You don't have to draw this line in the beginning, not required. This is a simple circle with center 2 comma 0. This is basically a general point whose inclination or argument is theta. What is this point will be? I'm asking a very simple question, not difficult at all. It will be 2 plus this theta, right? So this is A. After all, what is this? 2 plus cos theta plus I sin theta. What is the real part of this? 2 plus cos theta, because radius is 1. And this is I sin theta. 2 plus cos theta plus I sin theta. 2 plus cis theta. Directly, this is cis theta with this origin. It is translated to 2. So 2 plus cis theta. Okay, so this point is 2 plus cis theta. Okay. Maybe I'll ask one question and then come back. Sorry, I'm in between going to something. Z equal to R cis theta. Let us see if somebody can answer this. Okay, this is R, this angle is theta, this is Z. Graphically, anybody want to tell where is 1 by Z? Z is in the first quadrant, making some angle theta. This length is R. Where is 1 by Z? Where should I mark? Anybody want to answer? Fourth quadrant. Okay. And I want to be more specific in where it is in fourth quadrant. Can I mark anywhere? 1 by z means 1 by r cis theta. That will be 1 by r cis minus theta. Cis theta, when it goes up, it will be cis minus theta, na? So 1 by z argument will be minus theta. So find mirror image of this line, the same inclination theta. And for every point on this argument will be minus theta, right? So this will be somewhere on that line, but not mirror image of this point, because this magnitude is not r, it is 1 by r. So now you have to tell me whether r is 1 or less than 1 or more than 1. If r is 1 unit, this is directly 1 by z. If r is more than 1, 1 by r will be less than 1, so it will be somewhere here. If r itself is very small, like 1 by 2 or something, 1 by r will be 2, it will be somewhere to extend it, but it will be somewhere on this line only. Okay. So if r is 1, it will be the image. If r is more than 1, it will be before the image. And if r is less than 1, it will be more than the image, but on that line, right? Okay. Now come to this. From origin, I'll join to this. Okay. I'll find mirror image of this line like this. I'll take this as z. Okay. If this point is satisfying this circle, what is the circle is after all? Mod z minus 2 equal to 1. Okay, right? So even this z also should satisfy this equation. And when I expand that, I'll get x square plus y square minus 4x plus 3 equal to 0. Okay. Now 2 plus cis theta is also a point on this circle. You can substitute and see it. Okay. Even this is also a point on that circle. But I will show you how this point is 3 by 2 plus cis theta. I'm going to show that this point is 3 by 2 plus cis theta. That means on whichever circle 2 plus cis theta is lying, on the same circle 3 by 2 plus cis theta also lies. Okay. How is that? If I take this as z, I'm going to show this is basically 3 by z. As simple as that. Okay. If this is alpha, this is minus alpha, because I took mirror image. Next, if I take this as L and this as M, OM into OL, what is the answer? Anybody want to tell? OM length into OL length.
OZ square.
OZ square. What is this? No, OM into OL is not OZ square. I can tell the number itself. Is it 5 or 10 or 100? I can tell the number. OM length into OL length. I want answer to be a natural number. Answer is a natural number. OM is a length. OL is a length. When you multiply those two lengths, what number will come? Doesn't matter what is theta. 6. Why it is 6? Where from 6 comes? All of you know in a circle that if I draw two secants and this is P, this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D, PA into PB equal to PC into PD. All of you know that? The same way, OM into OL, can I say if this is P and this is Q, OP into OQ? OP is 1 unit and OQ is also 3 units, 1 into 3. So this is same as OP into OQ, which is 1 into 3, it is 3. All of you agree with that, right? Okay. Now, and if this I call N, OM and ON have same length. Okay, so if I want to find N, if I want to find N according to complex numbers, it will be ON into cis minus alpha, isn't it? But just now I found ON is same as OM. It will be OM into cis minus alpha. But what is OM? 3 by OL. 3 by OL. And what is cis minus alpha? I can write cis alpha, 1 by cis alpha. I will get 3 by OL cis alpha. What is OL length into cis alpha means this complex number only? That is 2 plus cis theta. 3 by 2 plus cis theta. Okay. So I want to, if you don't understand, don't worry. Some of you feel it is too difficult, just leave it, don't worry. What I'm saying is, whatever theta you take, 2 plus cis theta lies on this circle. Even 3 by 2 plus cis theta also lies on the same circle, because as you change this point also moves. Let us say this point is went here. This is 3 plus 2 cis theta. I want to know where is 3 by 2 plus cis theta. Very simple. Join to the origin. Look at this point. Find mirror image of that here. That is a 3 by 2 plus cis theta. That's why 3 by 2 plus 6 theta is also lying on a circle whose center is 2 and radius is 1. That's why this is the answer. Okay. So I just want to give some idea. If somebody is not able to relate to it, nothing to worry. Okay. So anyway, I started with the equation of line and went somewhere. As I said again, mains level 2, miscellaneous level 2, that is 154 to 169. I will discuss all the questions. Tomorrow I will discuss little more theory and then I will discuss all these questions. Okay. All numerical questions you have to do. Anything left up to 153 you have to do. If you have doubts, I am ready to discuss. And after that, we will go to advanced material. We'll start with more than one answer and discuss odd numbered questions. Okay. Till the end. And even numbered questions you will try in the advanced material. Okay. Thank you.